Welcome to the Inspired Podcast. I'm your host, Andrea de la Cerda, and each week I'm bringing you insightful discussions and news about changes in the landscape of education and entrepreneurship. As a 22-year entrepreneur, corporate executive, business coach, and leader, I mentor a community of change-making men and women to get out of their box and step into their true calling to make the biggest impact in the world. I believe that increasing conflict today is a sign of the need for systemic change and a call for authentic feminine power and passion to help make that happen. Today's episode digs deep into the topic of money. Why does independent financial freedom sometimes feel so hard to achieve, especially for women who balance the roles of business owner, caregiver, and often primary support for family members? For me, gaining financial independence has been one of the biggest challenges of my life. Despite all the hustle, learning more, pushing to grow professionally, staying ahead of trends, the financial results have sometimes felt elusive, and it's exhausting when the energy and dedication that we pour into our work doesn't yield the outcomes we're striving for. And it leads to tough questions. Things like, am I giving away too much value? Do I undervalue my own skills and time? Or is it that others just can't see my full worth? Pressures are compounded by the unique challenges of being a mother and a caregiver. In my case, I have 4 children, and I've even encountered clients who question my capacity to manage my own professional responsibilities, particularly when they learned that I had a child with mental health needs. They worry that the stress of caregiving might interfere with my work, as if that part of my life somehow diminishes my value. And as women, we're often expected to take on everything at once and do it perfectly, without complaint or perceived vulnerability. And yet we're frequently undervalued or seen as a risk in the marketplace just simply because of the family commitments that we balance with our work. So how do we find a way to meet this expectation and honor our worth in the market without losing ourselves or compromising our financial independence? And how can we effectively balance the unending demands of both our professional and personal lives while ensuring that we're recognized and compensated fairly? These are questions, to be honest, that I'm still exploring. I think many of us are searching for a way to make our lives sustainable, financially independent, and authentically fulfilling on our own terms. And perhaps this path is less about balancing it all and really more about owning our worth unapologetically, setting boundaries that protect our value, and reshaping a marketplace that sees us for the multidimensional, resilient leaders that we are. Throughout my journey as a married woman, a divorced single mother, and then married again, I can't say that my ability to earn or achieve financial security was ever significantly easier or less stressful depending on my marital status. I will tell you that, losing my marriage and being independent really showed me how important financial independence really is for women. But marriage in all of its forms didn't remove the financial challenges or the internal pressure to achieve my own independence. So perhaps marriage really isn't a great strategy for my financial stability after all, despite some societal expectations or assumptions. The struggle to achieve economic security was always very real for me. It led me to the question, how can we crack this code? How can we find ways to reach financial success and security as women independently without relying on marriage or companionship as a fallback? For many of us, this question runs deep. We're often raised with an expectation, either implicit or otherwise, that we will be cared for financially by a partner. Whether it's a father, a husband, or even an extended family, the unspoken message is that our primary role is something other than securing our own financial future. This social conditioning can clash with an internal desire for independence. Yes, we want to be able to stand on our own 2 feet, but we may lack the confidence to believe that we can truly do so. We might feel unprepared or even unequipped to support ourselves fully because for so long, financial training was not part of the toolkit that we were ever encouraged to develop. It's not just about knowing how to earn money, but understanding our worth, setting boundaries, and cultivating the belief that we can care for ourselves financially, even if the world suggests otherwise. Society often reinforces this lack of confidence by suggesting that women's financial power is somehow linked to their relationship status. However, true financial independence means knowing you're capable of providing for yourself and that your security isn't tied to anyone else's validation or support. I will say that one again, that true financial independence means knowing that you're capable of providing for yourself and that your security isn't tied to anyone else's validation or support. Breaking free from these limiting beliefs is not easy. It requires reframing our entire relationship with money sometimes, challenging generational narratives, and accepting that we may need to forge a new path. Perhaps it means stepping out of the shadows of traditional roles, defining our worth on our own terms, and understanding that financial success is an empowering choice that has little to do with marital status or companionship. True financial independence is about tapping into our own resources, talents, and resilience to create a future that isn't dependent on anyone else. It's about crafting a life in which we feel empowered and capable, fully prepared to be the financial architects of our own lives. Our relationship with money is sometimes a complicated one and learned very early in our lives. Perhaps phrases like, money is the root of all evil, or more money, more problems, were ones that you might have heard in your home as a child. Or perhaps just a feeling or belief that making a lot of money is for others to do, but not really for you. Beliefs that you don't deserve it or don't have what it takes to achieve it. Discovering financial freedom is so much more than having the right product in the market with a killer marketing campaign. It's even more than just having money. Did you know that a significant number of those who win the lottery end up in bankruptcy court? Estimates on this vary from 30 to 70% depending on the source. But clearly, money alone doesn't lead to financial independence. You also must be prepared for success on a soul level. I've been fortunate to connect with so many men and women on this topic, many of whom have shared their stories of how their own limiting beliefs about money kept them from achieving more. In some cases, it was a certain level of management in a corporate job that they could not exceed. Or for entrepreneurs, it was a certain gross revenue number that they just couldn't seem to get beyond. And now, not everyone desires to make a lot of money. But if you do, and you can relate to anything that I'm saying right now, consider that there might be money beliefs that are keeping you small and might be getting in your own way. This was definitely the case for me. Early in my business, I hit a six-figure number, and then each year, I couldn't seem to exceed that as much as I tried. I would double down on my marketing and sales efforts, but the extra hustle I was putting in didn't seem to yield more than that dollar amount. I could not get beyond it. A couple of years ago, my business coach challenged me on my money mindset, and it changed everything. For me, it was feelings around my own self-worth as it relates to wealth. Things like I would say to myself, I'm not worthy. I don't deserve it. Others deserve it more. The real road to my financial freedom was not being afraid to dig into these limiting beliefs and change the narrative in my own subconscious, even if it meant changing the way I show up in my own life. I'll give you an example. When I finally got serious about drilling down to uncover my limiting beliefs around money, I realized that I continued to receive messages from people who are close to me, very near and dear, some of my own family and friends. Some of the messages that they would continue to give me serve up were just not serving me. So it made sense for me to create distance between myself and those that were just not aligned with where I saw my future. And that might feel scary and it might feel drastic to some of you listening, but it was right for me. And some of the techniques I used during this time to really tap into my subconscious beliefs and change them were NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming, EFT, or you might know that as tapping, Psych-K, body code, and traditional talk therapy. It was a combination of all of these things together that allowed me to really clear my mind and my subconscious for what my future might hold. There are some really great books on this topic. I really love the book Money Magic by Michelle Masters. It's a quick but very insightful book on how to clear your path to success by allowing money to just walk through the door. Imagine that. Like, it wouldn't have to be even so hard. Another one that I love is Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Dominguez. Or I also love You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. There are so many great ones out there. I encourage you to explore what others have to say about this topic. There's really so many great insights to learn. I'm excited to dive deeper into teaching and speaking on economic empowerment, especially as it relates to underserved groups, and in particular, women. A true core mission in my life is to elevate the economic mobility of those who may not have had equal access to resources, mentorship, or financial opportunities in the past. And I want to help women, regardless of their race, backgrounds, or circumstances, uncover their true potential and realize that they're capable of achieving financial independence and success. For so many women, self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and systemic barriers can feel like walls that are impossible to break through. My goal is to provide the guidance, tools, and encouragement needed to dismantle those walls. Through workshops, mentorship, public speaking, I aim to demystify concepts around financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and professional growth, just empowering women to believe in their own abilities and take bold steps toward economic freedom. I envision creating a supportive community where women can learn from each other, share experiences, and uplift one another by helping women identify their unique strengths and shifting perspectives on money and self-worth. I hope to inspire them to pursue opportunities that they might have previously thought were out of reach, and ultimately, to help redefine what's possible, creating a ripple effect of empowerment that spans generations and transforms the economic landscape for women everywhere. And that wraps up this episode of the Inspired Podcast. I really hope our conversation today has helped you reflect on your own journey toward financial independence and the mindset shifts that might help you get there. If you've ever felt held back by limiting beliefs around money, remember that real financial freedom isn't just about how much you earn. It's about changing the internal dialogue and beliefs that shape your approach to wealth. Thank you so much for tuning in today and for being part of this community dedicated to growth, empowerment, and impactful change. If today's episode resonated with you, please share it with others, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss an update. For more insights, tools, and resources on economic empowerment and overcoming limiting beliefs, please follow me on social media and check out the links in the episode notes. Until next time, keep challenging those boundaries, trusting in your worth, and stepping into the financial freedom you deserve. Stay inspired, stay empowered, and take care.